So this is what I intended to cover as a short tour from the beginning until now of the journey of Agile. So I would summarize it as that Agile has some very well-defined basic principles that have to be adhered to without any compromise. No matter how scalable you want to make Agile in order to make it work for your organization. And the emphasis is always on keeping it as simple and as close to the basics as possible under the circumstances. Avoid unnecessary details at every possible cost. So now I move on to the next segment of my discussion, which is Agile at scale. So the rapid adaptation of Agile, actually Agile took the industry by storm when it first appeared on the landscape, and the widespread acceptance early in the days of Agile made a wide range of organizations to want to apply Agile technologies on large project teams, sometimes with hundreds of people, often geographically distributed in various environments and various complex situations. In other words, organizations started to push Agile beyond the small co-located team environments. That was what Agile debuted as. So the Scott W. Ambler, Agile guru, and he has made articles. He's written many articles on this, and one of his articles, Agility at Scale, identifies scaling and complexity factors. Facing projects using Agile. He observed that organizations want to apply Agile development to a broad set of projects. They are dealing with problems, they require large teams, want to partner with other organizations, need to comply with the regulations, etc. So the 8 scaling and complexity factors are team size, geographical distribution, regulatory compliance, domain complexity, organizational distribution, etc., etc. Now, so what's the bottom line? Bottom line, that's when Agile starts to get married with discipline. So industry experts and organizations are calling it by different names, but across the industry, people are finding ways of dealing with the scaling factor by mixing Agile techniques with aspects of other methods. And not surprisingly, Agile gets along very well in most such situations. So the bottom line is that the minimalist approach to Agile is unlikely to work with large and distributed teams. Tools and infrastructure will play a decisive role in the success of any scalable Agile adaptation. Methods in the class of Agile with discipline will continue to evolve. And ALM tool vendors, ALM stands for Application Lifecycle Management, the ALM tool vendors will continue to play an increasingly more important role as enablers in this process, as organizations will constantly look for newer tools to keep with the evolution of the methods. And number 2 is that they will always want to protect their investment in existing tools and infrastructure by plugging them into newer processes in ways that were not initially thought when those systems were put in place. So the question is that when you talk about tool, are we talking about standalone tools or integrated tools? Now for small co-located Agile teams, the standalone tools may often be sufficient, although integrated tools are clearly beneficial. However, When you find yourself in an agility of scale situation and one or more scaling factors apply, then you need to change your tooling strategy. Almost certainly go for an integrated tool strategy. So in the next table, we described how some of the scaling factors can affect your tooling strategies and suggested some products from across the industry that you may want to consider to enable you to address these factors most effectively. So once again, these are suggestive